Jakks Pacific has a habit of releasing a Sonic with every wave, or at least two figures that we've already gotten before. In this case, Sonic and Amy, though this time they did do something different and they gave us a slightly modified classic Sonic, which actually is better than the last one in my opinion. I like this one more. So just get into it here. Welcome to a not so awesome review. Today we're looking at the Sonic the Hedgehog Classic Sonic by Jakks Pacific. I don't think this has a wave name. I don't think Jakks actually puts out waves, like numbered waves, which is kind of disappointing because it's a little bit harder to keep up. But it's the wave that includes Sonic, Vector, Ray, and Amy. But the other three, I just have not seen in store. And I know they put out another box because there was more Sonics there last time I went. But anyways, pick this guy up because he is different enough that he actually might justify the purchase to a lot of you. I know there's a lot of people who just buy everything in the waves. But for people who are a little bit more selective, yeah, this Sonic does kind of just justify it because of how different he is from the original. It's not too different, it's not too far off, but it's enough. So first of all, we do have his accessory, which is one of these little bouncing things, little springs, a yellow one, very plasticky looking, not really much to say about it. It is what it is. I actually, you know what I would really love them to do? I'm gonna go on a small, quick rant here. I would love it if instead of giving us these little springs and these accessories, which are awesome, don't get me wrong, I do like all of the little things like that, especially the emeralds. It'd be cooler if they included some of the villains, like the $2 villains. I know that they sell them for like $2.99, $3.99, somewhere around there. They're really cheap, but it would have been cool if we got some of those, or include some of the free animals. That would be awesome. It doesn't have to be like every time, but if we got like a freed animal with Sonic every once in a while, I think that would be really, really cool. But anyways, so taking a quick closer look at the Sonic, you can see that at first glance, you know, you may think, okay, it's pretty much the same figure. He looks the same type of blue, the nice lighter blue on him, the body and everything. But if you look a little bit closer, you'll notice, okay, the eyes are different. All right, the mouth is different. Then the arms are different. And then the actual entire face, the head shape and everything is a completely different mold. Body-wise, leg-wise, completely the same as the original one and I forgot what the fancy painted one is, but that one, you know, same as that one. Okay, so let's get on with articulation really quick so we can talk about the changes here. So head can move left and right, no up and down or anything like that, which, you know, it's what you expect. The arms can move all the way around, and the rotation on this one is hinged forward and back like that. Same with this one, it's hinged up and down like that. So the movement on him is different than what we're used to. We do have rotation at the wrist and everything, and then of course the legs can move forward, back. We do have that knee and then the rotation and slight pivot at the foot and everything. So the main things here is that he can get into the running pose that he is on the box. Basically, the running pose you see right there, and that's upside down, but you can basically get him into it by putting his one arm back and one arm forward, kind of like how I had him a second ago in the beginning of the video. You can see that right there. You can get him into a pretty good running pose. It does limit his articulation, I'm not gonna lie, but you can get kind of like a punch going on there, which is cool. You can get his arm going down, which looks a little bit weird. Like I said, it is a little bit limiting in how you can pose him, but in the ways you can pose him where you can't pose the other ones, I think, you know, it's a good compromise, especially if you have the other Sonic. You don't want them posed exactly the same. You don't want the exact same figure. This one gives you enough of a difference that I think it's justified just in the articulation alone and the face, because I do think the face, if I can get this guy to balance, was done really well, and I prefer it to the original in a few ways. So let's actually just get them both right here. We have the original on the right and the new one on the left. You can see the eyes are slightly different. They're smaller on his, a little bit more animated, a little bit more cartoony than the one on the right over here. The mouth, a million times better in my opinion. I think the fact that we see his teeth in here has always kind of put me off. It just looks a little bit weird. This one is a nice little deco right there. You can see his tongue, his mouth is open, no teeth, looks really good. His eyes are actually, the shape of it are slightly different. It's a little bit wider, it's a little bit lower. His ears are just slightly, ever so slightly off compared to this one. Like, they're not exactly the same. The mouth shape though, more rounded, while this one goes all the way down throughout the body. This one, you can see there is a little bit of blue paint on the bottom of his chin and everything, and they are molded differently. So mold line wise, over here we have it where it cuts in and goes in like that. This one comes down and cuts in right there. So they are completely different molds, in case anyone is wondering. But body wise, they do pretty much share the exact same body, tail, feet. I don't see any differences there at all. Paint wise, They are essentially exactly the same color blue, the same color tan and everything. So it's not too different. Again, the arms on him are curved. Let's actually get him standing so we can get a proper little comparison. His arms are curved, like I said, to get like a cool little running pose. You can, you know, put the other hand backwards if you wanted to and have the other hand forward, but I think it looks better since his fist is going that way to do something like that. Let's see if we can get him to stand, like I said. All right, not the best poses for these, but getting these guys to actually balance in a vanilla pose, a lot more difficult than you would think. So here we can see a few differences. The older Sonic, the original classic one on the right, is just slightly taller, even though he's leaning forward. You can definitely tell that he is just ever so slightly taller than the newer one, probably because the head on the other one, I think, is just like 1% smaller, because the legs, I'm still pretty sure are the same. The feet, I'm pretty sure are the same. The body, like I said, I'm pretty sure are all the same. So I think it's the head is like 1% smaller than the other one. You can definitely see it there on camera. I'm looking at the screen right now. Yeah, you can see the difference there. Even though he is, again, leaning forward, I want to say it is just slightly smaller. Deco-wise, like I said, I think the new one blows the old one out of the water and looks so much better than that one. And I do like the running pose. Now, I will say that I wish Jakks would just give us the articulation they gave the movie line, where we can have elbow movements and free movement for the arms. I think it would be so much better. These arms are thicker than the ones from the movie line, so it should actually be easier for them to be able to pull it off here without things breaking or being super loose. Again, because these are thicker limbs, especially if you try and compare it to the more modern Sonic where he's a little bit skinnier. I think classic Sonic definitely serves that kind of style a lot better, and I hope and wish that they do that in the future. Yes, we have the more expensive, bigger version, but even his articulation is limited compared to the movie line and everything, so it's just something to be aware of. If you want this for a cheap Sonic, smaller figure, definitely pick it up. I do actually like it a lot more than I thought I was going to. The face, again, I love it. It's my favorite one out of the two, and I really don't have much else to say. It's another Sonic figure, but it's different, and it's different enough for me to say, yeah, I can justify this purchase because I think he looks better. That said, of course, the bigger scale one from the collector line, I forget what the name of it is called. I do have it on my shelf, but yeah, that one with the interchangeable eyes and everything, probably still the better of them, but if you want something in the smaller scale that will fit in with some of your other figures. Although, yeah, technically he is too big to fit in with the other figures because like classic Sonic is shorter than modern and everything. I still think that this is a good buy for that, just, you know, mixing and matching figures and stuff. All that said, yes, I do recommend this figure. I think they did a great job upgrading him. If you want to call it an upgrade, at least the face is definitely something they've done a lot better, especially the eyes, especially the proportions of it. I think so much better. Mouth looks great. I do want them to release a Sonic with a little bit more attitude like the one on the box. But until then, I think this one, for the people who missed out on the original release, get it. For the people who got the original release and want something that looks better, this one does look better. It's up to you. It's subjective and everything, but in my opinion, I like it more. And the running pose, I think, definitely helps. So I am glad I picked it up. I am glad that Jakks actually put out a difference in the Sonic instead of giving us the same exact Sonic for the third time, essentially. So, yay, progress. Hopefully, I'll have the other two figures in this wave in hand at some points. But yeah, until then, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I will see you all later. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.